Connect, this year my feeling is it's really starting to do things. And people are doing things without necessarily getting too much permission. They're just doing things. I think that's fantastic. And one of the reasons I think we can do stuff without too much permission is that we are driven by our vision. Our vision is a story. It's about what we are creating. And I find that incredibly exciting because so many organisations are driven by strategic plans. I'm not saying strategic planning isn't important, but we have a vision that says this is what we are, this is what we're trying to create. And so that is where we get our energy and our vision. There's been some good work done around the back of house. So we've now pretty much got our back of house in order. We've got an account system that works, and I'd like to acknowledge the work of Nick, who is a phenomenally busy business person, but he does great work and he's invested hours and hours and hours extracting the accounts from where they were previously and getting them well organised. And also too, we've now got a secretary who our able to pay is Sarah, and also a social media, Alex, what do you call this? Social media person?
Whatever you like, social media manager. Manager.
So yeah, we've got stuff happening, which is great. And we've also, although I sort of say the thing that's more important is our story, we do have an action plan, which is like a strategic plan, so we're working on that. We change it fairly frequently. So going through the 5 groups. So first of all, activations. Activation has been going for about 6 years, and this year Joe took it over. It's been going from strength to strength, and you're probably aware that Joe is almost ubiquitous on social media. No matter where you look, there's Joe. And she's done a wonderful job with her team of bringing a whole lot of things to fruition. Like 2.5 years ago, we started talking about getting the fringe here. Needed Joe to get on board and actually make it happen. So Joe, thank you very much for that. And Joe, as you would have seen from the posters and the social media, is standing for council. So Joe, we wish you well in that position. And some of the things that we're trying to do in activation is build relationships. So we've built relationships with a whole range of events throughout the year, including St Patrick's Day, the Revelation Film Festival, Criterion Bike Race, and a whole lot of other things like that. So the idea is, let's have a party every week. And this year, as has already been talked about, this year's carnival is in full swing, and I'd like to acknowledge Councillor Jimmy Murphy, who also runs Upbeat Events, who puts on the carnival, and I think from what I've heard, it's going to be a cracker. So everybody tell your friends to come along. The next of our groups is business, and business has been a bit in and out. It's led by Simon, and Simon had work pressure, so I was talking to him a couple of days ago, and he's said that he is unable to stand again because of his work, but we were able to build and continue to build a strong and collaborative sense that we are a business community. And there's been things like business breakfasts and some photos that we shot with various businesses that we can use in social media. But that's an area that, looking forward, I'll talk about this shortly, that it would be great if we continue to build that. Design, I lead the design group, and I hope if you vote me in again, we'll continue to do so. And really what we're about is 2 main things. One is to be able to shape the future urban fabric of Leederville, and the other one is to turn Leederville into the design hub of Perth. They're noble ambitions, but I think we can pull that off. And some of the things that we've done so far is we've made submissions to the city on their planning policies. I'm not sure if they read them, but that's okay. We made submissions. They knew we were here. I'm sure they read them. Sorry about that. We've got to stay friendly with you guys, don't we? Yeah, and we made submissions about various developments. We're really looking to find some good developers who we can work with collaboratively, and we've begun to build some relationships with some. So we can really focus on that community and citizen-based design. So we just don't get generic cutouts arriving from somewhere else, but we can give this place its style and its feel. We were fortunate we were able to bring the Archiflix Film Festival to Luna, and that was very exciting because that really started to stamp Leederville Connect as being one of the leaders in design in this area. We also got Curtin Uni involved in doing research around the street closures, which gave us a lot of good data as to what is the benefits or otherwise of temporarily closing streets. We've opened the discussion about bringing light rail, as it's being talked about as part of Metro Mesh, and we'll see if we can get light rail into Leederville, or at least close. And we're talking with TAFE about the setting up a shared workspace. So a lot of projects that are going on, and it's a very exciting space to be working in. The next group is streets. Now, our ambition in streets is to try and recreate that thing that we are nostalgic for. You know, when the streets were a safe place, where the kids could play footy, where you took a meal across the road to someone who needed one. So we're trying to rebuild that sense of community in the streets, and I'll say more about that later. But part of the activity in that space has been to build relationships with groups like Transition Towns, who are also working in that space. And the final group is Wellness, which was initiated by Jana. Jana kicked off doing yoga in the park and a few other events like that. She then got a bit busy because she started a new job, but she's very much interested in getting back involved in Leederville Connect and building that sense of how do we create a well community. So looking into the future, and I think this is dependent on the new committee, I think we're going to have to revisit the Leederville vision and see if that still fits or if we want to change it. But I think that idea of having a central story as to what we're about is really powerful, and we shouldn't walk away from that, just disappear into strategic plans and mission statements. Hello?
Very late, sorry.
That's okay, come on in. It's good to see you. In terms of back of house, you know, there's always more scrutiny on NGOs and small groups, and so I think we're going to have to do a bit more work on shaping up our policies. And also too, we have to revisit our action plan to say, because the action plan really is what drives what we do with money. And that's only one part of our activity, but we need to be accountable to that. What we're finding is there's a lot of people saying, oh, I've heard about Leederville Connect, can I join? And so we can grow our membership a lot. It's nice to have an organisation where you get the sense of, well, it's growing. But I think we've got to keep on looking at membership, not just as how many people have we got coming on who are paying us money. I think it's better if we can look at the membership and say, the membership is about getting a seat at the table of the group of people who are planning the future of Leederville. And that's a really exciting way to see membership rather than, well, if we get more people, we'll get more money. Because really Leederville is about us. The other thing I've noticed as Leederville Connect has grown, people don't know each other. We used to be able to get around a table and 10 glasses of beer, not each, and plan things, whereas now there's a lot of people we don't know. So I really think for the next committee, one of the things that's going to be really vital is that we have a few more parties. And we have parties where we just get everybody together and say, okay, let's all be silly. Now, some of the other town teams are really good at that, I think. No, I don't think we're going to go down the track like Mount Hawthorn and dress up in onesies. That's we're a little bit cooler than that. But that's okay. But I do think for the new committee they should have a real high priority of more parties that bring us all together so we can say, this is us. We're ugly, we're a bit more strange, but it's us and we're proud of it. Just going through where I see each of these groups could move, and that of course is depending on the new committee. Activation is really strong, but I think we now need to start stretching our attention outside of that Oxford Street, Newcastle Street intersection. You know, we're beginning to see a node emerge around the Burke Street intersection, and also over time as those new developments occur, we're going to be thinking about how do we link in and mesh and coordinate with what's happening in Mount Hawthorn, particularly if we can end up bringing the light rail around Oxford Street. Interesting concept. In terms of business, and we're beginning to talk to a few people who can work, who are interested in working in this area. Business is a huge opportunity, and one of the things is we see that everyone tends to work in their own little businesses. But if we can start to get people to raise their heads, and I think the food and bev guys have been fantastic in that, we've got a couple of them here, But what we really need to do is to bring those other businesses here into that network and say, how can we work together? And I hate the word branding, but because branding is so superficial, but there is something in that concept of being able to say, we are part of a local identity, and that's what's sort of behind my idea of can we turn ourselves into a design-driven centre, because we can't compete with the big money power of the CBD of Perth, but we can compete by being innovative, amazing. That's up to us. I mentioned about design. We're going to continue to work on the projects like the TAFE and that sort of thing. But I do think we are at a pivotal point where what we now do in terms of the built form will affect the future of Leederville for the next 20, 30 years, if not longer. And so we as a community really need to stay engaged with that strongly, with that long-term vision, which is why I want to step into that role rather than continuing to be the chair. And streets is probably the thing that I'm most excited about. And the reason is because these two young women here, am I allowed to say young if he said I was old?
Comparatively, we're young.
You'll wear that right wait till you get to my age. Sorry, you'll regret it. But I was talking to both Sarah and Bess, and they commented that over 30% of households in Leederville are shared households. What's the number?
We have almost 3 times the number of share houses than the Perth average.
Okay,
In
well,
Leederville.
whatever that is, there's an awful lot of share houses.
There is.
And thank you, that's great, being corrected. And the thing that struck me out of that is, firstly, those people are likely to be young. Secondly, they're likely to be creative. Thirdly, they're likely to be disadvantaged. And to me, that represents an opportunity that we in Leederville Connect should be grasping hold of and saying, how do we empower you guys? How do we help you find better quality housing and all that type of stuff? So I'm really excited about what you two guys have been talking about doing. And forget about all the old guys, because they've got enough power, enough money to look after themselves. So, and finally, Wellness Zana is coming back on board, and we look forward to things developing there. So in conclusion, after 4 years I'm stepping down as chair, and I guess it's true to say I've got a bit burnt out herding the cows, but that's okay. I still want to be engaged and stay focused in this design area. So thanks to everybody, and the reality is you did it yourselves. What you're doing is phenomenal, and even the quirky ideas that pop up, they're all amazing. And I think our job in Leederville Connect is to say, you've got a great idea, you've got some resources, get together, now go off and do it. I hope you've got resources. I wish the chair and the new committee well, and thanks to you all for being amazing. It's been a wonderful time working with you, and let's hope it continues. Okay, are there any other reports from any of the